Okay then, Raiders, we are back and we've got loads to go over today as it is the weekly trials reset, which brings us in for a whole new array of trials leaderboards, being the final one before this whole season resets. So we're going to break that one down for you guys today. It also appears that Ark Raiders and Embark Studios are going to be pairing up with Tencent to actually get a Chinese release of the game, impacting the game massively. So we'll break through into that one as well before we talk about the February timeline for the new roadmap. If we haven't already, make sure you smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option, and we release new bundles all the time, so make sure you stay tuned to it. Links in the description. Use code CloudPlays at checkout for a cheeky discount. And we've also got a giveaway going on the channel for a free copy of the game, or if you've already got it and you want some Raider tokens, well, it's very simple. Head down to the comment section and put in any kind of love heart, and it'll enter you in. We'll be announcing that one during the next update, so make sure that you stay tuned, as it's only going to be a few days away. With that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now inside of Ark Raiders. So starting off, we've got the weekly trials updates where we're going to be bringing in, yet again, the exact same rotation that we're normally used to. This is an interesting one because we've got to talk about the toxic swamps, which were allegedly meant to be in here already, but that's a whole other conversation altogether. Starting off, we have got the damage wasps. Very, very easily. Make sure you head on in and collect as many snitch scanners as you can throughout your games over the next few days, and I would recommend collecting those up for the full week. Once you've managed to max those out, both for maybe the last 2 days of these trials, just go into a map with a few friends, throw down a load of snitch scanners, and then head on in with your wolf packs, and you'll just be able to clear those up very, very quickly, with sea grenades obviously being a obvious choice as well. The download information inside of the bunker, this one is an obvious one. We can obviously know that that comes from the spaceport map modifier, and this is going to be something which is capped yet again at around 9,600, I believe, so you're not going to be able to get anything more than that. Just make sure that you do the full rotation, hit around 9,000 in points, and that will be maxed out. Damaging queens and matriarchs. This is going to be a challenging one because at the moment the community seems to be more hostile than ever, so making sure that you are in the friendliest lobbies possible via the aggression matchmaking that we have in here is going to be pretty much crucial for this one. Making sure that you have got the friendliest lobbies means that you guys will be able to team up against the queens and matriarchs. There are a lot of ways to be able to damage those. You don't actually have to completely take them out. If you're looking for a simple 3-star, then just going in with a few nades and making sure that you have made an input to it will obviously help on your score points. Destroying ticks is a very funny one as well. You guys can do this pretty much anywhere, although there are a few spots on damn battlegrounds that I would recommend, which means that you guys can just rinse and repeat the destroying ticks. They happen to be very, very quickly done over on damn battlegrounds. And then opening the arc probes is the electromagnetic storm modifier is going to be the best way to do that, as they spawn those in the troves. So make sure that you are heading in for an electromagnetic storm and just running around looking for those arc probes. Heading in for the highest score on the final week is pretty much crucial at this point, as the reset for this one will run through in 8 days and 20 hours time, meaning that whatever leaderboard you are ranking in at the time will give you the rewards in tangent. So make sure that you are paying attention to it, and the higher you can get throughout this week, the better off you will be. But it's really, really odd to me as we were able to look forward inside of the weekly trials, as there is a bit of a hack method on PC where if you change the date and time and log into the game, you are actually able to find the future trials. We don't have the toxic swamp in here. I have no idea if this was content that was accidentally put in and then scrapped off, or if it was something that was planned, and because it was essentially leaked, they then held it back. We have no idea. I'm not really too used to the way that Embark actually does things, and they seem to be really, really efficient, but other than this next move, which I'm not too sure is 100% good or 100% bad. So I want your complete and utter honest feedback in the comment section for this one, as Ark Raiders is getting a dedicated Chinese release, and it could change absolutely everything, as they're going to be teaming up with Tencent, and we all know how the reputation goes for Tencent in the gaming scene and people's opinions on what happens to games after they get issued with them. Although I would like to make a reminder that Helldivers is currently Tencent's partner. They've been partners since the release of the game, and even now they seem to be reaching 6 figures left, right, and center. It's really, really odd to me, but it seems to be something that works. Embark Studios has announced a dedicated Chinese release for Ark Raiders in 2026 at some stage this year, and the release will be done in collaboration with Tencent and will establish servers for Ark Raiders in the Chinese markets. This could impact players worldwide, leading to a boost in revenue for Embark, Nexon, and an increased budget for Ark Raiders. Now, this plan to expand to Ark Raiders in China with a dedicated release, it seems to be following the Embark Studios blueprint that they have as they followed the finals main movements, which also received its own China open beta in late 2025. The new Chinese version will serve as a localized ecosystem for Ark Raiders with a long list of added benefits. For starters, establishing an Ark Raiders in China will allow players in the East to face fewer issues related to the ping and allow for the overall more refined experience, as Embark will partner with Tencent for the release of this one. Additionally, the expansion could also see deep integration with Chinese local apps such as WeChat, allowing players to clearly communicate, which is pretty much essential in the PvPvE area, especially with the aggression-based matchmaking. Some might think that the Chinese release for Ark Raiders could impact the game's art style, although Embark Studios have pretty much got that one layered down to the aesthetic that they want to sell in gritty environments and stuff like that. But with the expansion plan in mind and a roadmap filled with content, it's clear that Embark Studios has no plans of stopping the Ark Raiders train anytime soon. Now, what do you think about this move from Embark Studios and Nexon? I think this is a very interesting one, and Tencent is obviously my worrying factor, but we'll have to wait and see how it actually goes. Although it does mean more players, and more players means more revenue, therefore more support and more content. So I am 100% for it, and I just hope that it's done correctly. Seems to have done okay for the finals at least, or at least that's my 2 cents on that one. And when we've got people like Elon Musk apparently playing the game, but when I say playing the game, I mean probably hiring somebody to play it for him so that he can reap the reward and benefit of a top-level account. Yeah, no hate intended, Elon. Apologies. But we've got so much more that's going to be coming this month in terms of the escalation roadmap, and we are now waiting to see when that's actually going to arrive. We know full well that this week is not going to be a patch update week, as they are seeming to run in a 2-week cadence right now. We can tell this by the store and how they've actually operated that one, as the store currently still has 9 days remaining on it, which is likely to mean that the 24th is when the February Shrouded Sky update is likely to come into play. This is a funny one, as I don't know why they're doing it at the end of month when it could be like a mid-month increase. I don't know, but that's just how they're running it right now. With new map conditions, new Ark threats, player projects, raider decks, map updates, and expedition windows, I'm intrigued to see exactly how this is going to play out. Obviously, the best way to work this is looking at the expedition window. We know that that's going to be around 7 days time, 8 days time before that window eventually comes in, and that does essentially mean that we're going to be receiving a new window coming soon. The update is likely to be next week on the 24th, Tuesday, to see where it is that Shrouded Sky goes. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel, as we'll bring you everything here that you could need. Moving in from that one, though, getting you guys on the spotlight, we've got your top comments from the previous video that we went over, where we had the free holiday gift for Valentine's Day, and another record actually being hit, with more rewards coming out of the back end of Embark Studios. This first one right here states, about 2 months ago, I was in Red Lakes and I died to a leaper. Had a dude run up and tell me no one dies on my watch. He didn't have a defib, but he stayed with me, bandaging me, and walked me to the raider hatch and used his key on me, then ran off to do more. Dude used multiple bandages, 5 minutes of his raid, and a hatch key on me. Absolute legend. Now, I do love it when we have these games where it's essentially in the kinder version of it, and you don't have the PvP so prevalent. It is definitely a not more of a nicer experience, and it's something that I really, really enjoy. I just wish that I could get into it a little bit more. It seems to be a little bit more PvP styled recently, and that's not even down to anything I'm doing. This next one right here, coming from Zero System, states, my buddy and I have escorted a few duos who got downed in various situations. It's nice to keep a fellow raider group alive and help them get out with their gear. Better feeling than downing others. Now, I actually do agree with that, although I do find if you're not into the PvP sector, the one thing I struggle with is actually being able to have the new weapons in tow. Venators don't come very often unless you're running in PvP, and being able to craft them isn't always the easiest. So having a loadout that works really well is definitely something that we struggle on with the PvE area. But yes, I do agree. It's definitely a lot nicer, that's for sure. And this final one right here, coming from Afflicted Gamer, states, the little free gifts are cool. Shows that they care and appreciate their players. Now, I do agree with this one massively, and I think it is a really, really important for a live service model to be able to inject things like that just into the game over social events and so much more. We obviously had the Christmas update, which was a very snowy venture, that's for sure. And to have a little gift come in for Valentine's Day, I think was a very clever move, and something that I really wish that they would do a bit more often. I can't wait to see where this game goes over the future, and with it moving over to China, it could mean more revenue, therefore more content. Let me know your opinions on everything we spoke about today in the video down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on. I appreciate all of you damn faces. But as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.